Here I've got the pattern ready for the leather embroidery scissor case, and I'm going to just finish off cutting this out. It'll take me a mo. You can see that these pattern pieces are full size because obviously embroidery scissors are pretty small. So basically both pieces print onto one sheet of A4 paper or letter size paper. So we'll get these cut out. So you've got your two pieces here. So I actually prefer it this way. So you cut two of the back piece and one of the front piece. And this pattern is suitable for leather, vinyl or cork. They have to be non-fraying because we're not turning it through the other way and hiding the seams inside. So anything that is non-fraying is going to be good for this pattern. So I'm going to grab my suede. I'm going to make this out of suede today. This is beautiful pink suede. This is the front side, and I prefer, when using leather, to cut from the back. And the reason I cut from the back is because I just draw around it with a pen. I don't want the pen to show on the front of my thing. So because I want this facing this way, I'm going to have to cut it out this way because obviously it's going to be the opposite way when we turn it round. So I'm going to tuck this around here, and I'm just using a normal pen, and I'm going to draw around my pattern. And I really like these big pens to draw onto leather and suede because they just work really nicely. So as it says on the pattern, cut one of those, and you need to cut two of these. Okay, let's see if it'll fit this way. No, it won't. So let's put it this way. Okay, and draw around this as well. I normally print these things out on card because it just makes it easier when you're drawing around. Doesn't keep wandering off the line. Okay, so there's one. That's a bit marked on that side. I think I'll move along here. And it's wise to keep checking what your suede looks like on the other side, because it can look perfectly good on the back, but when you turn it over, it just doesn't look quite as nice. So I'm just going to draw out the other one of these. Okay, so as it says on the pattern pieces, one of these, two of these. So now I'm going to cut out. I'm just using scissors today because this suede is quite nice and soft, so it's not a problem to cut out. Okay, there's my 3 pieces of leather ready to take over to the machine. Okay, I've got my thread in my machine and it's pink to go with the colour of the scissor case. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew across this top edge about an eighth of an inch away from this top curvy edge. So I've snipped my threads. Just getting my trolley back over. And there we've got the top edge sewn, and it just gives it a bit of stability and means it doesn't stretch, because as you use it and you keep opening the press stud on the scissor case, sometimes this can get a bit stretched, so it's quite good to have that seam at the top there. Okay, what I'm going to do is trim these threads close to, and then I'm going to burn them to seal them. So that's them sealed and ready to go. Next, I've got the two back pieces that I'm going to put together. Now I like to use double-sided tape for this, because I find it just makes it that little bit easier to stick them together. So I'm just going to put a couple of rows of double-sided tape on here. If you're worried about it gumming up your needle, then just don't put it in the seam line. So kind of just move it over slightly and that'll be fine. I think for those of you that are maybe sewing by hand, that I don't know that that'd be so much of an issue. So I'm taking off the back. Just going to turn that round. Taking off the back in. I use this tool because I don't have any nails. I never grow my nails long. I'm always doing stuff that ruins my nails, so I don't bother. So I need something to be able to pick off those bits. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're going to line this up on top as best you can. That's just shifted. So let's pull it back. And I find if you look along the edge of it like this, you get a better fit. Although that's not lined up as well as it could be. Okay, so then what we're going to do, we're going to put the front on. I prefer mine to face this way, but maybe you might like yours to face the other way. That's up to you how you cut it out from the pattern. So I'm going to put these on here. I'm going to add a couple of clips. And that will just, because it does tend to move around a little bit. Just going to put those clips on there. And at this point I'm going to take a good look at it. I can see that I haven't quite lined this edge up properly. So I'm just going to get my scissors and just trim that slightly. Just trim it back into shape. better. That was just a little tiny bit that was just overlapping slightly. Okay, so now we're ready to sew it around. I always start from this edge here where the 2 layers go into 3, because I find that's the best place to start. When you start off, make sure that you back stitch. My machine grumbles a bit. Back stitch again to end. Trim your threads. And that is now ready to trim these threads, burn them off so that they don't fray, and then it's time to put on our press stud and our rivet. So now we're going to cut the holes in here for the rivet and the press snap. I've got my container with my rivets in and my snaps, and on the top of these boxes I've got written which press I'm going to use, because for some reason I bought a press, then some of the dies I bought didn't fit, I ended up with another press, and so it ended up a bit complicated, so I have to write on the top of the lid which press I'm going to use. So let's start off, let's drag that press out. Okay, so we've got this press here that we're going to cut the holes with. I just leave the hole punch in here all the time because I don't use it for anything else. So first of all, right in this corner where all the threads meet, I'm just going to make a hole right there. It makes a satisfying crunch noise, and I usually just check that it's gone through. Yes, it has. It's gone through both sides. And next I'm going to make a hole here so that we can put the snap through. What you have to really be careful of is not to put the snap too close to that edge, or else there isn't enough room for the scissors to fit in there and do up the snap. So I would say I would do the snap around about here. Okay, so you're a bit of away from the top and a similar distance from the side. In some ways that's a bit of trial and error with your scissors. You might want to put your scissors in the case and then check out where you need to make the hole. So let's make the hole in there. Check it's gone all the way through, which it has. We can put that one away. So first of all, I'm going to put the rivet in here. Let's take that out. Okay, so we put our top part of the rivet in there, rivet press, and then that in there. This is probably overkill to have them in all these bags, but it's what they came in, so I leave them in there. And I also said that you don't have to actually use a rivet in there. I think it does strengthen that edge a little, but for me it's more about how it looks. I quite like the look of having the rivet in there. I think with leather work, I think it looks quite nice to have some metal work as well. So I'm going to poke the rivet, let's move you over a bit. I'm going to poke the rivet through. I'm going to pop the back on like that, and then put it into the rivet press. Give it a good press down. Okay, so there's the rivet. I'm just going to take these off because I keep the dies in the little case with the things that they go with. I find it easier that way. Okay, so we've finished with this press for now. So let's put that one away and bring in the one that I use to do the snaps with. So what I've got in here is the dies, and I keep one of the snaps that correspond to that die, because I found, because I don't use them very often, I forget which bit goes with which and then have to teach myself again every time. So I'm not going to do that. I just keep one of the snaps in the little bag with the correct dies. So let's get them out. Okay, so I need one of these. And one of these. And they correspond to what's in the bag there. So this one goes in the top part of the press, and this one, let's push all these out of the way a bit, and this one goes in the back. So we'll pop that in the back like that. I put that one on the back because I don't think that looks as nice as the nice rounded one that goes on the front. So this is a little bit awkward, but you kind of fit it over there. We hold that piece out of the way and press down, and that's now fixed. Because it's suede, it marks it, but you can just rub it out. So that's the first part in there. So we can now remove these. I always put them straight back in the bag because I don't I don't want to get mixed up. I mean, it's not hard to figure it out, but I just think if it's already done for you, you may as well keep it like that. Okay, so now we have the next dies. So the other sides. So we need one of these, and one of these. Occasionally these ones are tricky to get onto the die, so if I'm only doing one, I'll just put it in there before I even screw it into the press. Come on, there you go. So what we do is we tuck this one through the hole like that. so you can just see it sticking out. And then we'll put that side in the nice rounded bit of the bottom part of the press. Hold these bits out of the way and press down. And then that's the snap finished on there. So that's your finished case, and you can see there's a good distance this side for your scissors. Let's remove these immediately. Shove all those to one side. Put my press away. What I'll do is I'll get out my scissors and try them in the case. These are beautiful. These are from Ernest Wright and Sons in Sheffield in the UK. They're handmade, and it was these that started off my journey making scissor cases, because I wanted a nice scissor case for my beautiful scissors. So they slip in there, and there they are in the case. And if it tips upside down, they're not going to fall out because they're held securely, and they're cushioned in the nice case, and if you drop them they're less likely to get damaged, and that just keeps them nice and safe in there. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy making your scissor cases. Thanks.